Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? All right, there's quite a few things that we have to talk about, okay? And one of the things is something that I discussed in a previous video. And there's an answer to a question that many of you had. And this has to do with Australia. And it's because a subscriber who lives in Australia had wrote in, and she said that her ATM that she's been using for 30 years disappeared. And so this is why. Major banks are continuing to remove hundreds of ATMs and close down branches as consumers further reduce their use of cash. In Western Australia alone, the number of ATMs have been slashed from 1,478 in 2017 to 763 at the end of last year. So this is why, okay? And that link will be in the description box below for you guys, so you can read the entire article and have your references. Now, on to this. A subscriber wrote in, she said that she wants to try this. It's an experiment. And it's called inflation frustration. And this is how far $20 will get you at a Baltimore grocery store. Really? $20? It won't get you very far at all. But she wants to try it. So it says, with inflation reaching a 40-year high, no duh, everyone is trying to make the most of every dollar. So these interns were sent to 4 area grocery stores on June 20th to see how far they could get with $20. This was the grocery list. 2% milk, a half gallon. A dozen eggs, loaf of bread, chicken breast, small package, toilet paper if possible. Safeway, they spent $18.43. Milk was $2.89, eggs $2.99, bread $1.49, chicken breast $7.69, toilet paper for 2 rolls $3.18. Note, many products were in stock, lots of variety. The least expensive chicken breasts were $7.69. Individual rolls of toilet paper $1.59. Then they went to Whole Foods. Milk, $2.99, eggs, $3.49, bread, $3.99, chicken breast, $9.09. Total, $19.61. Notes. Our shoppers found that the prices to be high. They were still able to get everything except toilet paper. Our shoppers found a lot of products on the shelves. Then they went to a place called Giant. They spent $16.75. The milk was $2.69. The eggs were $2.79. The breads were $3.99. And chicken breast was $7.23. Note, our shoppers found the egg shelf very empty. Shopping in the middle of the day on a holiday may have affected this availability. Then they went to Aldi. Milk, $1.74. Egg, $2.11. Bread, 93 cents. Chicken breast, $10.65. Total, $15.43. Note, at the time, Aldi didn't have packs of toilet paper for less than $15. So, it just goes to show, different stores, different prices, different brands, too. Different availability. But this is also going to range from state to state, city to city, town to town as well. So, on to this. Now, although the biggest news right now is, of course, what happened yesterday, okay, with the Supreme Court, with Roe versus Wade, okay, but there's another bombshell that quietly broke a few days ago that will have vastly more profound, devastating consequences on the world than any decision coming from SCOTUS. Putin announced that BRICS, and that's BRICS, BRICS nations are going to roll out a new alternative to the U.S. dollar's global reserve currency status. But this is only the beginning of the bombshell here. We also know from industry sources that something called Project Sandman, you've heard of it, right? Stormy, stop eating my hair. Which refers to a group of over 100 countries that plan to simultaneously denounce the US dollar as a global reserve currency. This will take place on a Sunday evening, USA time. And this new replacement currency will be powered by a blockchain backed by gold, which is why member nations have been rapidly stockpiling gold supplies in anticipation of this big announcement. And when that announcement comes, nations that will represent nearly 75% of the world's population will simultaneously denounce the US dollar and roll out a gold-backed, blockchain, audited international currency system that will instantly become the world's currency choice for free trade and a store of value. The dollar, which will be backed by nothing but more money printing and incompetent political leadership, will collapse toward zero. Stormy stuff in my hair. Virtually overnight, goods and services sold in America will increase in price by 1,000%. And that's only the beginning. The dollar will continue to lose value by the hour as the world's holders of U.S. Treasury debt and dollar currency dump it at any price. These holding dollars will lose everything. The United States government will quickly collapse in parallel with the collapse of the dollar and the U.S. central bank. There will be no money to pay military troops, pay off the corrupt government officials. All government salaries, pensions, will be effectively halted. The great neocon empire of debt, lies, will implode so rapidly that people will be physically shocked, unprepared. Russia, China, India will emerge as the economic leaders of the world, and the U.S. empire will cease to exist. Now, the former United States of America will be broken into regional nation states, divided largely among political lines, with the satanic anti-American left seizing control of the coasts, conservative, pro-America, pro-liberty, pro-Constitution groups dominating the rest of the country. Expect a very real civil war to ensue with massive casualties. Now, Russia knows that it can defeat America simply by joining the world's efforts to declare America's dollar currency to be null and void. No nuclear war is necessary. America, it already hit highly vulnerable to this short of collapse due to the nation's massive debt, spending addictions. Russia and China, they're merely just sucking the air out of America's collapsing currency, knowing that economic gravity will do the rest. The era of Western civilization is coming to an end. It will be characterized by the collapse of the dollar, a global repudiation of the petrodollar status, a collapse of the rule of law across the United States, a collapse of the stock market, pensions, bond market, crypto markets, collapse of the food supply chain, collapse of the fuel and transportation infrastructure. This will in turn take down the power grid in many areas, leading to a Mad Max-style scenario from which few capable survivors will attempt to flee. Before the end of 2025, America as you know it will cease to exist. This has been a plan all along since 44. Clinton, Potato, and plenty of the rhino neocons. They needed to take us down in order to achieve the one world government. Universal gun control, universal vaccine mandates, abortion rights, engineered global starvation, total control over speech, election, everything, all of it. Everything that we're seeing playing out, our rights being taken away, all of it. Now, their agenda is failing at many levels here. Okay, take Roe versus Wade here. Struck down, yada, yada. There are many elements at work that are looking likely to achieve key indictments against deep state players. However, any state that wants to exist after the dollar collapses must be ready to roll out its own gold-backed currency on an emergency basis. Texas is largely prepared to do this, but few other states are ready. The reestablishment of trade and commerce following the dollar collapse is going to be the key to surviving the demise of the dollar. Now, Texas is number one in exporter of goods, by the way, and Texas economy is larger than most nations on the planet. So is the economy of California. But California is run by, you know, Newscomb. But no matter what happens domestically, America's days of being able to run around the world, threatening everybody with military strikes, dollar weaponization, it's over. Without the ability to print money and defraud the world into buying soon-to-be worthless U.S. debt instruments, the United States military will have no funding to continue operations or build new weapons. Eventually, it'll be disbanded. So, get prepared for what's coming. Get prepared today. Don't wait. The only way to avoid a financial collapse that's coming is to hold your assets in physical goods, gold, silver, land, ammunition. A lot of us can't. I get it. I can't. I have my house. I have silver. Not enough, you know. And before I go, talking about finances, stuff like that, at a Kentucky aluminum plant, they're laying off 600 workers, and this is happening in Hawesville, Kentucky. It's a large aluminum plant. They're temporarily halting production and laying off more than 600 workers due to rising energy costs. It's called Century Aluminum. And it's going to start next month in August. The plant had about 628 workers. It's the second largest employer in Hancock County. And the county's judge executive, John Roberts, they gave him no assurances the plant would reopen after that. Roberts said that the company told him that its power costs have risen dramatically over the last year. And they can't do it. It's sad. Many people are going to be losing their jobs. Again, here we go with job losses. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fearless.